Did you know that there are multiple electrical grids here in the U.S., and getting them to communicate with each other can be challenging? You and I have an insatiable appetite for electricity. Come with me and we'll look at the issues relative to wind farms and the communities that they serve. This is the Windfarm Guy. Hi, this is Dennis Stout, and thank you for joining me for this episode of the Windfarm Guy. A complex issue that wind companies are faced with today is how they interact with the existing electrical grid. In September of 2020, the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, known as MISO, and the Southwest Power Pool, the SPP, announced a year-long transmission study to address generation interconnection challenges. They're looking to identify comprehensive, cost-effective, and efficient upgrades along the areas where those regional grids connect to each other. There are thousands of megawatts of renewable energy that cannot be developed in those adjacent areas known as seams due to the differences in how the two regional transmission organizations, or RTOs, model project benefits and generation dispatch. Those differences contribute to interconnection studies that call for high-cost transmission upgrades in order to connect proposed wind and solar projects. This transmission study will likely focus on synchronizing modeling inputs and assumptions between MISO and SPP in order to find benefits to customers on both sides of the seam. Resolving the issue will ultimately give utilities a cheaper path to meet clean energy and carbon reduction goals. When renewable developers propose new projects, grid operators undertake interconnection studies to determine what system upgrades are needed to move the proposed power to customers, along with how much those upgrades will cost, as well as what benefits they will provide. A fundamental issue facing them is the lack of transmission at requested connection points. Working together, MISO and SPP can target those areas where there are mutual benefits on both sides of the seams. For a variety of reasons, the projects needed to move new clean energy are not always showing up as cost-effective, meaning their costs would need to be shouldered by the generation developer. With the transmission upgrade costs potentially running into hundreds of millions of dollars, this often means some new wind and solar projects are simply scrapped because it appears that they just don't make financial sense. At the beginning of the study, according to the American Clean Power Association, there were combined over 200 gigawatts in the MISO and SPP queues, of which as much as 80% was wind and solar. Clean energy advocates and developers are hoping for an agreement between the grid operators to use joint assumptions, methodologies, and maybe even undertake joint modeling. This new study is an unprecedented effort to try and solve a very serious problem that has been facing the renewable community and consumers in general. This seams issue is not new. Grid operators have been working to address it for quite a while now. MISO and SPP say this joint study will focus on solutions that will offer benefits to both their interconnection customers and the end-use consumers of the RTO member companies. While MISO and SPP have an existing joint operating agreement that allows them to work through reliability issues, the operators say existing processes do not include the simultaneous evaluation of benefits or allocation of cost to both load and interconnection customers. They want to fix that. If you like what I've said today, be sure and click like and subscribe below. If you have thoughts or want me to address a particular topic relative to wind farms, please also leave me a comment. During this study, each RTO's existing interconnection process will proceed as planned. However, the study will run parallel to those, with subsequent results expected to be incorporated at the appropriate time. This is yet another example of how the wind industry is facilitating much needed change in the electrical industry as a whole. You and I get to enjoy the benefit of these advancements. This is Dennis Stout, and I'm the Windfarm Guy. Thank you for watching. Working together, we can make good energy decisions and save our planet. I am the Windfarm Guy.